Randy Stanberry, where are you at? Randy and I met back in, several years ago at IBS, and this guy has been nothing short of incredible. I first met him when he had 4-level coach going. Since then, they've helped so many of our customers. And one of the cool things, and I don't mean to steal your thunder here, but they were finding that when the people came in with JobTread set up, it was a huge benefit to them. And so Randy and his team, they created 4-level integrators to help tons more of you to get JobTread set up before having you come in and join their other programs. So, dude, that's just so awesome, man, to see that you've been able to build an entirely new business to help our customers in this community, and I appreciate it.
Oh, man. It's been an incredible ride after meeting Eric and his team and Matt Riley and, what Eric's talking about. Look, everything that Eric said in his first opening, right? Was that incredible too? Like, really? Come on. That was amazing. And that's his whole story of, helping that client or that where he took over as CEO and took them, to 8 million in a year and added 3 million, increased profitability by 43%. I mean, you can do that once you get the whole business dialed in and the software and systems in place. So it's really about the systems and software. What we found with 4-level coach, we could only go so far with people. We could only help so much if they didn't have the systems and software in place. So we help with systems, but if it's not working with the software, it's really, really difficult to grow and scale the business, right? So there was always that roadblock there. So for us, what we realized is if we're really going to be, true to our word, and the only reason I started this business was about, helping people go way beyond what they thought was possible. And that's what I'm going to share here in a minute with you on our keynote, but it's about going way beyond what you think is possible. Well, we can't do that if we can't get the coaching side to meet the integration side. And when these things sync together, it's a kind of an explosion of growth and scalability. And without that, it's near impossible. So that's what we're about. We help people on the coaching side. We bring in the integration side. We make it all work and flow. And that's where we're seeing incredible results. And as I said, when I started the business, we weren't going to necessarily need to be the biggest, but we do need to be the best at getting you guys results. And if we can't do that, then I don't want to be doing this at all. And we certainly don't want your money if we can't do that either. So, when we bring that all together and we bring the community with it, it's a complete game changer. So that's us in a nutshell. It's we love what we're doing. We're building our team, and we're on the rocket ship with JobTread. And we're going to be transitioning into the keynote here in just a second. I think we're getting that up. So basically, we're going to be getting into this talk about unleashing our true potential. And the fact of the matter, and we've got some slides here once they get rolling. I don't know if they are already, but when they are, there's only, 2 to 5%, right? 2 to 5% of people and businesses ever truly reach their true potential, right? Now that to me is a very sad number, right? On the other hand, if you look around the room here, you guys represent that 2% that show up for this stuff, right? There's a whole industry out there that does not take the time and spend the money to be here at these events, right? So I believe that we are a representation of this room, and what I hope is everybody leaves here over this next 3 days with a completely shifted mindset, one, about what's possible, but two, but knowing how to do it. Look, there's a room full of people, whether you resonate with us or anyone else in this room. There's lots of business coaches, marketing companies. Everyone has their take on how to help you get to the next level, right? So as we move through this, before I really get rocking here, shout out to Eric, and we did this before, but let's do it again. A shout out to Eric and the JobTread team, right? Incredible team. Taylor, Alex, Travis, Anna, everyone on that JobTread team, the binary ballers, how about them? Those guys are rock stars, putting out, even up to last night, we're getting updates yesterday, right? So it's like, wow, next level. Love those guys. But really what this is about for me, as I mentioned, the 2 to 5% of people That's a sad number. Let's change that game. At least let's be 100% of this. There's no reason why we can't all be leaving here with a completely shifted mindset and next level and achieve what Eric helped that business achieve. We can all do it. Everyone, the only thing that's going to stop us is our own mind and mindset about what's possible, right? So I'll be sharing this simple success system with you as we walk through this about what we see as how to do this. And believe me, it is quite simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. And it's for everyone in this room. It's not just for the entrepreneurs, right? So what we were asking, Anna said, look, if you're up there talking about this, we've got a lot of people that are not the owners of the business coming. So this has to apply to them as well. So to me, what this represents here, this book is by a buddy of mine, Robin Sharma. Many of you may know Robin. He's an amazing writer, leader himself. But he wrote this book about the leader who had no title, right? You do not have to have a title. You do not have to be the owner to become a leader in your business, right? You get to decide to do that. And what I'm hoping is you leave here after this 30 minutes and you decide in that chair and say, I'm going to help lead this company. I'm going to lead with my owner if you are not the owner here. So this applies to everyone in this room. All right, I'm going to give you the two reasons why we struggle. And one of them is a lack of purpose, right? I think that we're not waking up every day with what excites us, right? What drives us, what motivates us to get up every day and make this happen. The truth is, as Eric mentioned, this is hard. This is really hard what you guys are doing every day. So if we are not jacked up every day, ready to rock and roll, take things to another level, be excited about what we're doing, right? We're going to have one hell of a hard time getting past whatever ceiling we're at. And if we check around the room, most of us are at some ceiling at some point. I don't care if the ceiling's here or the ceiling is way up here. We're at a ceiling. Right? So it's all about busting through that next level of that ceiling, right? But we have to be doing something that we love, right? It's got to be more than just a job. It has to be more than just a job. It's not, and I'm not talking about just the employees here as just a job. Many of us as owners in our business have a job in that business, right? Do we not? Does it not feel like we just have a job in the business? Look, it's got to be more than that. It's got to be a job that we love, something that we're excited about, and we need to get that job with purpose, with passion, and we have the word fun in there as well. If it's not fun, I don't want to do this, right? So we are having fun every day. We get excited to wake up. We get to paint that picture every single day, every Monday morning. I'm more excited about Monday mornings than I am Friday afternoons. Why? Because I get to get up and paint that picture again on a new canvas for the week. And every single day or every week we get to do that, which is extremely exciting for me in our business, right? Now, my daughters, both Ryan and Miranda, are extremely excited today, right? They're excited. One is a project manager for a big developer, and another one is just finishing her 6th year of school, going through her master's, right? They are jacked about life. Why? It's limitless possibilities. Right? There's limitless possibilities for them at that age in their period of their life, right? So they are jacked. They have purpose, right? Now, many of us go too long, and what starts to happen is that it gets peeled away from us. We lose that in what we're trying to do because of the grind, because of the mud, because of the day-to-day, effort that it takes to do what we're doing because it's extremely hard. So in my opinion, we have to get that feeling back, right? So the question is, do you remember when you had that feeling, when it was something that was exciting every day? Did everyone have when it was exciting, at least at some point? And at some point, maybe that got peeled away because of the grind. It's like, look, we can get that back. And it does not matter where we are in our business, we can get there. I think part of the reason that we lack that purpose because of burnout. Right? We get to a point where it's just like, holy shit, this is hard. I'm getting burnt out. I can't get up and do this every day. And I actually don't want to I'm not excited about Monday morning anymore, right? So let's get excited about Monday morning again, right? We're beat down over time. And that beat down is really what literally, that fire that we had at one point, like my daughters have that fire today. They're excited about what they're doing. Well, when you get burnt out, that literally is peeling that fire away from us, and it's over, right? So I don't care if we're doing this too long, or it feels like we've done this too long, right? Or we're too old, right? It's like, well, I can't get restarted. I'm, whatever. I'm in my late 40s. I'm 50. I don't care what age we're at, right? Look, I have had this question more times than ever. When people come to us and they're in this place and they're in this burnout and they're in a tough period of time, they come to us with this problem of wanting to scale back. Now, if we're talking about unleashing our true potential, the moment that you actually decide to scale back is you have taken away any opportunity that you've ever had to be in that 2 to 5% that'll get to their true potential, right? So if you want to be in that 2 to 5% that actually makes that happen for yourself and your business, and if we affect that in our business, if we get to the true potential, you know how many other people we help in our businesses? You know how many people we affect along the way? Like, that's what excites me, and that's what we get to do and get up every day and do that. Now, if that's not fulfilling, I don't know what is, right? So, wanting to scale back is a scary place to be. So we have a decision to make at that point, like Dave did with us, right? Now, this goes back, this was our very first client that we worked with, and this was in 2019 when we started our business, same year JobTread, right? So he was at $5 million. Well, 2 years later, he was at $25 million. 2 years. Now, he wanted to scale back when he met us. He was thinking, I'm either going to scale back or I'm going to figure this out, right? So once you figure it out and you get the software and you get the systems in place, you figure out your time, right? You figure out how to build your team. You put all that in place. That's a new excitement. That's a whole new purpose. I get up every day excited again. That's what happened to Dave. Elevated his team, achieved his ultimate freedom. And what he decided to do is not scale back. He started a franchise. So a whole new business, started another business, franchisable, and he's on his third franchise at this point, right? Now, that's a guy that wanted to scale back. So when I'm looking at everyone in the room and I'm saying, here, there's 1,000 people here. We all have the ability to get to that next level, unleash our true potential. What are we going to do about it? Are we going to scale back? Or are we going to actually make a difference? Again, there's a room full of people out here who can help you. That's why we're here. JobTread's whole purpose in life is to take ourselves to the next level. That's why we're here. All right, so here's the fact. I'll be 55 next month. I got 35 years into my career. I am more jacked up today about what we're doing than I've ever been in my entire life. I've got a 25-year plan at 55. Some may think that's crazy. How many people ask, oh, when are you going to retire? Never. I love what I'm doing. Why would I do that? When I'm more excited about Monday morning than I am Friday afternoon, right? So it's about what's here for you, but it's about, look, get this back in you. So wherever you're at in your business, it can be different, and it can and should be. You have that ability to be, right? So it's never too late to reignite that fire. Ray Kroc was 52 when he met the McDonald's brothers, right? So look, I don't care what age you're at. I don't care where you're at. You got to get that fire back and get jacked up again about what you are doing. Now, number 2 that will hold us back is belief. It's real tough if we don't have belief to get jacked up about new possibilities that are limitless, right? So it's all about reigniting that fire, right? If you want to make more for yourself, your life, your family, your business, your employees, your people. As employees, you want to affect the business on a greater level than you ever have today. You have that possibility, right? But it comes with belief. And here's the fact. Why is belief so important, right? So whatever we can conceive and believe, we can achieve. The trouble is we have to first be able to conceive it, which if we're burnt out, it's really hard to do that, right? Real tough to be in a grind and in the mud and hitting the ceiling and burnt out and have a whole different belief of what's possible, right? So that's the first key. I've got to be able to conceive it, and then I have to be able to believe it to be able to achieve it. So our job at 4 level is, 1, to help you think way bigger than what's possible, and then be able to help you believe it and set the stones in place, right? To be able to do that. So the whole part is right now, most of us operate in our present from our past. And our past is what's happened already. That set us to here. So we're here based on everything that we've done up to this point. So it's real tough if we've had the grind, if we've struggled along the way, and we're living from our past. So what we have to do is shift this model, and we'll show you here shortly what we're going to do. But from our past, we cannot operate in our future, right? So our past is dictating our future. We got to stop that. There's a shift in the model that has to happen, right? And my belief is when purpose and belief come together, that creates our limitless possibilities. And it's the absolute truth. We've seen it hundreds of times, done it myself. I've seen not just at 4 level, but others we've helped before we started 4 level. This is just a pattern. It's the way it works. It's a law. And though this limitless possibilities to me is the truth about your true potential. So this has to happen, right? So here's 3 key action items, in my opinion, that has to come together in order for this to be true. And number 1, we must stop playing small. That one I hope sinks in, because most of us are thinking way too small. You know, JobTread, you think they thought small in 2019 when they started this thing? They have never thought small along the way, and they are on a trajectory of taking over this industry and helping hundreds of thousands of people along the way. And I don't mean just like the businesses also represent all the other people that it affects. It is millions of people JobTread will affect. They have never played small, right? But here's the thing about playing small. We must have clear, stretched vision and clear written stretch goals. And if we don't have that clear vision, to me, that's number 1. What are we getting up every day doing, right? The business will take you in a direction. Anyone get taken in a direction, Monday morning? It just goes and runs and you never look back, right? And the end of the day, at the end of the week, you go, what happened there, right? And that happens over and over and over. So we've got to have stretched vision and stretched written goals. Why do we use the word stretched? And that word is critically important. So what are stretch goals? They are this is like the wording here, and this comes right out of anybody listened to Dan Sullivan's 10X Easier than 2X, right? Excellent, right? Phenomenal. So I've been in Dan's program myself for years prior to starting 4 level. I know Dan really well. Amazing, the guy's brilliant business mind, right? But here's the thing. A personal or organizational goal with an objective probability of attainment that may be unknown. Now, those are key words. Those are so key. It may be unknown. In other words, I do not know how we're going to be able to do this. We do not have to, have this figured out. We just have to be able to believe it, conceive it, want it, right? So I do not have to know how. It's seemingly unknown, right? And then it's seemingly impossible. What did Eric say before in his walking up here? His first 30 minutes here was talking about impossible goals, right? Same thing here. It's seemingly impossible given the current capabilities. And those current capabilities is our past. Because that's where we are today. That's what's happening right now. That's the trouble that we're running into, is that we're basing our lives on our past, and this is our current capability, so I can't conceive of anything bigger than this, so it has me playing small, and I'll never reach my true potential. And that's 98% of the world. This room is going to be different. This room, this week, we got 3 days to totally change that, and there's lots of people here that can help, right? So that has to happen. And a couple more of these, right? So stretch goals involve an extreme redefinition of what a person or organization is capable of being and achieving. It's a extreme redefinition. In other words, we cannot show up tomorrow. We cannot show up next Monday doing what we're currently doing. Everything has to change. It's an extreme redefinition of how we show up and what we do. And that's what 4 Level is about. Right? We give you that plan. We give you the roadmap, the guidance to have an extreme redefinition of how you show up. Right? Because if you don't do that, then you're just going to keep doing the same thing and it'll never get you to where you want to go. And then you'll go, this doesn't work. Right? I can't think beyond that because I'm stuck again. Right? And that cannot happen. Right? And this is the thing, right? So stretch goals can capture, shift, and refocus your attention. If it doesn't capture, shift, and refocus your attention, you are screwed. It ain't happening, right? So we cannot be showing up the way we are. Where performance expectations are elevated way beyond way beyond the limits of our past experience. So all of that, I'm telling you, our past is dictating what we're doing, and we've got to eliminate that. I'm going to show you a bit of a model of how we can start thinking differently about that. Because this is what holds us back. This is what's getting in our way, right? So you can never change things by fighting the existing reality. I'll come back to it. Don't keep doing what we are doing. It's an extreme redefinition. You cannot keep doing the same thing, right? To change something, you have to build a new model. Have I driven that home enough yet? Right? We can't keep doing what we're doing. That's really all that's about. So we got to stop playing small, and we got to get excited about our new purpose and passion of what we're doing, right? Because once that fire is burning in us, right? That fire burns, and it creates this, honestly, an abundance of limitless possibilities. I'll go back to my daughters. Those are two young ladies, beautiful young ladies, that are in the prime of their life at this stage where they're full of limitless possibilities. The world has not got them yet, and have not shook them out and taken that all away from them, right? So I say, let's get it back, and let's get that fire burning again. And remember, belief, when purpose and belief coming together, that's our limitless, that's our unleashing of true potential, right? So what's got to happen? We got to crush our limiting beliefs, right? Until we crush our limiting beliefs, none of this is going to change, right? So what is a limiting belief? It's a judgment. First of all, it's a judgment. It's not even true. It's a judgment about yourself that you think to be true, right? And this restricts us. It restricts us in some way. So that alone, right? If I have a judgment about myself that's bullshit, it's not even true, and it's restricting me in some way, how can I ever get to my true potential, right? It's impossible. So we have to crush these limiting beliefs. This is an issue, right? We must set aside this gremlin in our head. Incredible book I read, simple, called Taming Your Gremlin a number of years ago, right? We all have this voice in our head. Believe me, trust me, getting up here, I had a voice in my head, right? Certainly didn't want to get up here, right? But now I'm here, I'm like, I had to set aside that gremlin. That's just crap. Otherwise, I don't get an opportunity to possibly affect one life in this room. Like somebody that grabs this and says, hey, I'm going to do this, right? So I had to set this aside if we're going to change things. Extreme redefinition, right? So that voice in our head has to be set aside. You know, that voice about I'm too old, not enough, to this, to that, not enough. It's all can't happen. Got to get rid of it, right? So again, that gremlin in there, and this is the total, dichotomy and the opposite of the challenge that we are faced with here, is that voice in our head is there to keep us safe, right? To keep us safe. If we start playing a bigger game, I put myself out there, and oh boy, if I fail, if I don't do this, all of this stuff starts rolling around, and then I just scale back. And so I won't put myself out there. Stop it. That's enough of that. We have to, if we're going to play a bigger game and stop playing small, we've got to set aside that gremlin in our head that keeps talking, right? That's got to be there. So here's the truth, right, about limiting beliefs, right? We got to watch our thoughts. It all starts in our thinking. It starts in our thoughts, because our thoughts become our words, right? I'm sure many of you have seen this before, right? Our thoughts become our words become our actions. So if we don't change our thoughts and our words, then we're going to keep doing the same actions that we've been doing that's going to keep us nice and small and safe, right? Never reaching our true potential and staying in that category that 98% of the world stays in. Enough, right? Our words become our actions become our habits, right? Direct result of our current set of habits. Our habits become our character becomes our destiny. And our destiny, to me, is either going to be reaching our true potential or not. And that's the truth of our thoughts, because it all started there. So if we change our thinking, right, you become what you think. Simple fact. So change your thinking, change your life, right? Period. So and I love Henry Ford. Been driving this into my daughters since they were about, maybe down there, right? That whether you think you can or you think you can't, either way, you are correct. So choose that I can. Let's stop. That is the shift that has to happen in this room. So here's a little image about the past. When the past equals our future, And these dots on the left-hand side represent all of the things that have happened in our life, the experiences that we've had, all the way back, from our childhood to now, right? And all of these things are shaping what we are doing when we allow the past to equal our future, right? And what we end up with is a nice, small, not so bright future with a little guy on the side there not playing a big game, right? That's when we allow the past to equal the future. We got to change that. The past does not equal the future. The past means nothing to do about what's possible for me tomorrow, right? Period, right? So what we have to do is we got to block it out. Now we're going to let in some really good experiences we've had that we've learned from. We're going to take some of the past, we're going to let it flow through into our future. But the arrows on the side into our bigger, brighter future there, we're going to go out and we're going to look for new opportunities, new places to learn, like JobTread Connect. So you guys are all here. I believe this week, those are multiple arrows coming into your future right now, right? So if you can do this, you end up with a much bigger, brighter future. You're playing a much bigger game. Now you're on the road to your true potential. And here's the truth. If we do that, and we do not allow our past equal our future, then we're now operating in the present today from our future. Now we're operating from what I want. Not the past, not from where I've been, because we're blocking half of that out, right? And we're only allowing some of that to come through, right? The good stuff that I need, right? So we do not operate from our past, we operate from our future. That is a huge, powerful, if you take one thing away, take that away. That we've got to operate from a much bigger future in the present today. That's going to drive our actions today, right? That changes our thinking and our words and our actions and our habits, right? So here's a fact. If we've done those first two, if we've done 1 and 2, then we're really ready for 3. And if we're not done one of those 2 and we don't understand that model yet, we're never ready for 3. And 3 is about taking consistent, vital actions. And I'd use the word vital very, very purposefully. But we use the word vital at 4 level because we're talking about needle-moving actions. We're talking about things that will make a difference, right? You wake up every day, and your business will take you in all kinds of directions. It's not from a lack of action, because we're busy as hell every day, right? How many times do I hear this? How many hours a day, or how many hours a week do you work? And they say all of them, right? So when we're working all of them, we're full of action, but it's just not the action that's going to get us to where we want to go. So that's a problem. So we got to get to consistent, vital action, right? So when I have that clear stretch vision, I now know what actions to take because I know where I'm going. Without knowing that, what am I doing when I wake up Monday morning, right? Same with the goals. And then this abundance of burning, limitless possibilities starts to creep up to the surface. Now I get purpose and I'm excited again, right? So that has to happen if we're ever going to get there, right? And if that's the truth, now I can change my thoughts and words. And I cannot change my thoughts and words until that's happening, when I have that. So guys, this is the simple success system. The model is right here, and it may seem, this is almost too easy, isn't this? Like, this is too simple. No, this is the way it works. It's just the law of how it works, right? So the truth is, I'm using words very, very precisely. That these key words that we use are critical because, remember, our thoughts become our words become our actions become our habits. If we don't change those, nothing's going to happen. And it's about small, vital actions consistently. The other word is consistently. Do this for a month, 2, 3, rock this, have an amazing, lots of times. Look, I've been to hundreds of these events, hundreds, maybe in the 1,000 by now. I am 55. And been doing this a long time, right? So a lot of these events, and believe me, most of them, I will leave. I'm jacked up for a week, and then it peels off because I'm right back into the thick of what I'm doing. I didn't take the action I needed to take. I didn't get myself set to win, right? So don't do that for yourself. You have the ability right now. Be the 2 to 5% that take the action. Again, the room's full of them back there, right? That's critical. So why is this so great? Why is this simple success system so great? Because it's near impossible, literally near impossible not to succeed if you just follow the success system. You just do this. If you don't do this, extremely hard otherwise. I'm going to say impossible otherwise. This is what makes it possible, right? So that's why this is all so great. So we got 2 questions, right? 2 questions, and if we can hit that song, right? Because this is the truth, and I want to get some energy in this room, right? Get fired up a little bit. Because we talked about if we don't get fired up, right? If we don't get jacked up, if we don't get excited about what we're doing, and we don't leave here and take advantage of what's here at JobTread for us, oh my God. So the 2 questions, right, is how badly do we want this, right? You got to ask yourself, and truly ask yourself, how badly, am I listening to this and it's like, oh, Randy, that's cool, it's good information, kind of exciting, but I'm really not going to do anything with that. The question is, how badly do you actually want this? And then the question is are you fired up? And the question is, I want you to ask your neighbor right now. And I mean, let's get up for a minute. Let's get up. Let's move. Let's get some excitement in the room. Can we hit that song? Let's go. Let's get jacked up. Let's get fired up. Ask your neighbor if you are fired up. Do you want this? Right? Because if you don't, it doesn't matter. If you don't, nothing changes. Right? So get jacked, get excited about what we're doing, and then take advantage of what's in the room. Take advantage of all of that. Guys, there's a QR code there. I don't know if it's up there or not, but you can throw that up there. There's some a simple tool there, some tools to actually follow to create your vision, your goals, your guidance, the plan, right? We need our vitals. All of this will help you create a forward plan, take action. Let's do this.
Turn me